Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I am going to cover the Arkham Knight body armor. You guys have been asking for it, and the wait is finally over. This video, I'm going to cover the basic build of the back plate and the chest plate and even the abdominal pieces. So this is part 2 of the Arkham Knight. Yeah. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, first I'm going to sketch out the back plate using this reference picture, and I'm going to try to get it as close as possible to what it's supposed to look like. Now there's a lot of details, so it does get very complicated. After I get the patterns to my liking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace it out, cut it out, and then I'm going to transfer this design over to the EVA foam. And I'm going to cut the pattern so I can trace more patterns into the patterns. It's like patterns within patterns. Now once you get your patterns traced out and cut, you want to flip your template over and then trace the other side of the back plate. I'm folding my paper so I don't have to cut it. So whenever I put my patterns on top of it, I can just fold it over and then draw my lines, and then I can reuse it for the other side. Right here I am drawing out the spinal guard. I'm going to cut it out into small pieces, bevel it, and then glue it all back together. And it should look something like this, like a stingray, kind of. It's like walking around with a stingray on your back. I'm using a chest plate that I use for most of my armor. Tracing it on this nylon polyester fabric using my nifty rotary cutter to cut everything out. I drew on a bunch of lines. This is going to be where my straps will lay down, and I'm going to sew this triangular piece to it. Instead of using real nylon straps, I'm going to take this ribbon, glue it down to some craft foam, and cut them out into 1-inch sections. After everything is sewn together, I went through to make sure that my imitation nylon strap will fit in there nice and neatly. Then I'm applying some barge rubber cement. But before I glued it down, I sewed on some velcro. This is going to come in handy eventually. You want to make sure your contact cement is dried and tacky before you make the initial contact, because it works better that way. I got some masking tape on my mannequin. This is what I'm going to use to draw out my template for the neck piece. Once you get your lines drawn out nice and straight, you're going to peel it off and then stick it to this very expensive and sophisticated template maker. You're going to trim it out and transfer this pattern over to some EVA foam. You're going to trace it once, flip the pattern over, and trace it again, because you actually need 2. Apply your contact cement, and your chest piece connects to the neck bone. The neck bone connects to the backbone. Grew up listening to that song. Sounds just as dumb now as it did then. Now I am drawing out the accent pieces that goes onto the chest. I'm going to cut it out, and then I am going to trace it again, because you actually need both these templates. This piece is like a 3-dimensional piece, so one's going to act as the bottom template and the other one is going to be the top part. I'm going to trace the bottom template to this EVA foam, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the other side. Take your other template and draw it on there just like that. Sharpen your razor blade and cut in this weird angle. You want to take it nice and slow, making sure that you don't cut past the bottom template. And yeah, just like that. I got some sandpaper glued to this EVA foam. It's pretty coarse grit. This will help knock down a lot of the roughness. So far so good, but we are going to trace out the bottom template again on some 6mm craft foam. This will complete the look of the upper part of the pecs. I'm going to take some Wellwood contact cement and glue them together just like this. You want to make sure you get it nice and all over. That way it doesn't fall apart on you when you're walking around. That would be embarrassing. You want to apply some pressure and make sure everything is nice and together. Then it should look something like this. Kind of like a canary, or maybe even a robin. Dun dun dun. I'm drawing out the Ace Chemical logo. This is going to be traced on some 6mm craft foam and cut out twice. And now it's time to glue it all onto the chest piece. You want to make sure everything is nice and symmetrical, because you don't want your wings to be all funky. No funky business going on around here. Be some pros, bro. And you want to make sure to get your badge on right so that it looks legit. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on some additional accents to the chest piece. It's kind of weird. I just freehanded it, cut in a bunch of angles, glued them together, hoping that looked good. This was probably my second, third, maybe 10th attempt, but I eventually got it. And it should look something like that. And I'm finishing off with some more accents to the neck piece. So far, this is where we're at, and make sure you tune in for the next episode. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, and if you guys know somebody who may be interested in building the Arkham Knight costume, be sure to share the video with them. Yeah, they might like it. Today's shout out goes to Tyler Hughes and Travis Hughes in Lindale, Texas. That's not that far from me, really. Stay awesome, be cool, and be awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving some links right here to the next part of this series. So I'm gonna be covering the boots, the shoulder pads, the bicep guards, you know, other cool stuff. Yeah, click on some of these links. Make sure to comment, like, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. If you guys wanna keep watching me build cool stuff. Yeah, I guess that's it. See y'all later.